Alrighty, it's been well overdue, and well, yeah, it's just been well overdue. But I'm back. I have the part two to the how to script in FiveM using the language known as Lua. Today we'll be going over giving weapons, and also arguments, so args in a command, for example. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and open up our Visual Studio Code, which I already have open here, and we'll go ahead and make a folder for it. So I'm going to go File, Open Folder, and let me just go to where I have my server and whatnot. My resources folder here, and I have like my own little organization folders, so if I just go to the tutorials, here we are. Okay, so I'm going to make a new folder here. I'm going to call it Weapon Loadouts. Weapon Loadout. Alright. So I'm just gonna click on this and select folder. Alright. So in here we're gonna need to make our FXManifest folder. So we're gonna do FXManifest file, manifest, FXManifest.lua. There we are. Now inside of this we're gonna be placing this. So I will obviously link this in the description. But I'm just going to copy and paste this. We're not going to need any server scripts, and we're not going to need any data files or anything like that. So we're just going to take this, the important stuff here, and we're just going to paste it into there. So Control-C, Control-V. In author, obviously you can put your own name, just do whatever you want there. And then for description, we're just going to use script to give loadouts to player. Cool. So yeah, now here in our client script, this is where what we change actually matters. So we're going to name this to cl.lua. I just do this because it stands for client.lua. It's just easy to organize when I have a lot of different files, so client, server, whatnot. If I have multiple client files, I will do cl underscore main or something like that, weapons or something like that. But we only have the one today, so we're just going to stick with cl.lua. Okay, so let me make the new file here, cl.lua. There we go, and you have to make sure these two are identical. So you can see my client script cl.lua is exactly the same as my cl.lua I have up here. Alrighty, so now we're going to start with the actual code of it. I will show you a few natives that we're going to be using, and I will link them, but I will show you them when we get to them, I believe. Yeah, that seems like the easiest way to do it. So we're going to register our first command. Register command. Ooh, if I can spell it right. Register command. And the command name is going to be web loadout. There we are. And the handler and restricted, I can just make it function. By the way, the reason I have like the fill-in stuff is if you go to the extensions here and you can search up FiveM-lua. I recommend this all day long. This will it pretty much just gives you all your natives inside of Visual Studio Code, and it brings up all the arguments it needs and everything like that, parameters and whatnot. So yeah, that's how I do everything. I remember everything really quickly. Anyway, so this we're gonna go down a few lines and then type in end. So we have our command and it's being ended here. So inside of here we're gonna need to make some variables. So I'm gonna make a new one and it's be called player, and that is equal to get player ped -1. Sorry, -1. This local here just localizes it inside of this variable. We don't need to do the local, but I don't know, I like doing it. Player, that's the name of our variable here, and then get player paired. This is what will be stored inside of it. This just saves us time. You'll see in a bit. Anyway, alright, so we're also going to need, I forgot to mention, inside of our register command here, inside of this function, these little brackets, we're going to need to get our source and our args. These are going to be our two parameters. We need these here. Alright, we're not going to use the source as much, if at all, but we are going to need to use the args. So here's where we're learning what our args come into play is. So I'll try and like explain the args. I'm not great at explaining it. I know what it is, but So our args, right? If we do /wep loadout in game, for example, this is the first argument here. So this will be argument 0. Now, obviously, we don't need to use this. We don't, it's fine. And normally, if we're going to do like me messages or whatever, FiveM won't tend to include this. Sometimes they do. Sometimes you have to just fix that. But it's fine. But if, say we did, I want a LEO loadout, then this would be an argument here. This would be argument 1, because we've done a space. It's a separate, conjunction of characters. It's a separate collection of characters. So here we have LEO. This is our argument 1, alright? And when we submit this, what the, server sees it as is /wep loadout, comma, LEO. It puts it into a little bit of a table, okay? So when we go to our arguments, this is our arguments. We go arguments 1, that's this, because it always starts at 0. So if we go, make an if statement here, if args, and we're going to use the square brackets here, if args 1 is equal to LEO, then we are going to end this. Okay, and then we're going to put our code in here. So you can see, if our first argument here is equal to LEO, which in this case it just so happens to be, then we're going to do something here. So I'll just get rid of that. Hopefully it makes some sense, but otherwise when you make this, you should be able to see the results in game, and it should hopefully make some sense. Okay, so now we're going to use our native give weapon to ped. As you can see here, on the FiveM native website here, the native reference, I will link this obviously as well. We're going to give weapon to a ped, and the parameters we need is which ped we're going to do, the weapon hash, the ammo count. Is it hidden? So I'm pretty sure this just means, does it pull it out immediately? Or, like when you first get it, does it pull it out for you? Or what? Oh, sorry, no. This is hidden. Just make this false. This force in hand is if you just pull it out. So if this is true, it'll make the player pull that weapon out as you equip it. So yeah. So if we go back here, we're going to give weapon to ped, and the ped will be our player here. We have this variable to make it a little bit easier. The weapon hash, okay? So here we're going to use our native get hash key and the model. So now we have to get the actual weapon model. What's the name, what's the spawn code of the weapon I'm going to be using? For that, I have this weapon list here, which I'll also, I'll of course link this. So, what we can do here is we can just search up any of the weapons, and it gives us, so for example, I'll search up carbine rifle. The top one right here. It gives us the name of the weapon, the spawn code of the weapon, which is, this is what we're going to need. And if you want any of this, you can have it. You can use that, I guess, and the category, I guess, if you want that. But what I'm focusing on, ooh, where'd that just go? Okay, right, cool. Carbine rifle. I don't know what I did, but I did something. So if I grab this right here, I'll just Control C that, or copy that, and then I'll put some quotation marks and put that there. What this does, it gets the hash key of this weapon. So we use the spawn code of this weapon to get a hash key for it. We don't need to see that hash key because, well, if we're just looking in this code, this will work here. So then we're going to do ammo count. Just for the sakes of it, I'm just going to go 9999. This is the maximum. This is the maximum amount of ammo, I believe at least, that you can have. So I'm just going to do that for convenience sake. Obviously, you can change that. It will work as long as you don't go above that. Is hidden. We're going to go false. We don't need to hide the weapon. And then equip now. As I was saying, it's going to force it into the player's hand. We don't really need that. So we're going to go false. So here we have if the argument 1 is equal to LEO. So if you do /wep loadout space LEO, then it's going to give you a weapon. It's going to give give a weapon to the player, which you'll get player ped, and then this is a source here, and because it's a client script, it's always going to be you. Then it's going to give this weapon to it, which is the carbine rifle, because it's getting the hash key from it. The ammo count there, it's not going to hide it, and it's not going to just force it into your hand. Now, obviously, we need more weapons just for a law enforcement loadout, so we're going to just copy and paste this here. Maybe we'll go 2 more times. Oh, we'll go 3 more times. So, the only thing we're changing now is just this weapon, this spawn code of the gun here. So if we bring this back up, I also want to give them a combat pistol. So if I go weapon underscore combat pistol, right here, just gonna Control C, and we'll replace it right there. So now it's gonna give us a carbine rifle and a combat pistol. But I also want let's say for example, I also want a taser. Stun gun, I believe it is. Yeah, stun gun. So weapon underscore stun gun. So I'm gonna also replace it right there. Look at that. So we're gonna give us a carbine rifle, a pistol, and a stun gun. And I also want a flashlight because, you know, cops need flashlights. So if I go flashlight, here, weapon underscore flashlight. Boom. Obviously the ammo count here and here won't do much, but I mean, I'm gonna leave it there because you don't need to remove it. That's my point. So yeah, cool. So if the argument number 1 is LEO, it's gonna give us all of this, right? But what if we want a different argument? What if we want maybe a civ loadout, or it's like a basic something civ loadout? So then we're gonna put an else if args 1 is equal to, let's say it's equal to civ. Okay? Then we're gonna do something here. Now this is just a basic if else if statement here. Pretty much if this is true, it'll do this. If this is true instead, then I'll do this, and then we can keep that going as much as we want to keep going. But for this, we won't really need more than, we'll do 3, just so I can explain, just so I can show it. So here, all we're gonna do is just gonna copy and paste this one more. Actually, I'm gonna give myself a combat pistol. So I'm gonna copy and paste this combat pistol line. Done. Actually, you know what? I'll give him a knife as well. How does that sound? So we'll go back to our weapon list here, and we'll look for a knife. Weapon underscore knife. Look at that. Cool. Again, ammo count here doesn't matter, but we're gonna leave it there anyway. So I'm gonna do one more else if, which is gonna be for fire. Else if, can I spell? Else if args, the first arg here is equal to, let's say it's equal to fire. Then we're going to we'll give a more axe. How does that sound? So we'll obviously copy and paste this line. Oh, I don't have it copied. There we are. And then we're gonna look for an axe. It's not the right axe. Is there a different axe we can use? We'll just use the battle axe, it's fine. You could look for a better one if you want. I can't be bothered. So we're gonna go weapon underscore battle axe. Boom. Again, ammo doesn't matter. It's not gonna hide the weapon, and it's also not gonna just immediately equip it. Oh, we'll also give them a fire extinguisher. That might help. So we'll go fire. Yeah, look at that, a fire extinguisher. Here we are. Boom, fire extinguisher. So it'll give. Okay. So, and then here we need something to say if say for example they didn't put in a correct loadout as their first argument. So let me just check something. Okay, yeah. Alright. So we're gonna need a little bit of a function down here we're gonna need just for, you know, some nice little just so it looks good in game. So we're gonna do function. I'm gonna call it notify. And we're going to need something in here. It's going to be called text. So it'll be notify, and then the text you want to notify. It'll all make sense in a second, yeah. So we only need 3 things in here. I'm going to go set notification text entry, and then we're going to literally call this string in all capitals, in quotation marks as well. And then we're going to go add text component string. Let me just make sure I got that right. Yep, add text component string, and it's going to be called text. You see this is our parameter here. And then we go draw. And draw notification here, and we're going to go false and false. This just you can leave these, you can change these, you can experiment with them. It's up to you. I'm gonna leave it like this because this is how I normally have it. So now we have our little bit of a notify function. We can go up to say here, right? And we'll go notify, and we'll go. This just makes it blue if we do like a little if you press shift and then the button above tab and next to 1, you press shift and hold that, it gives you a little squiggly line. If you put a B in there, it makes the text blue. So I'm gonna go weapons, and then I want to do a little bit of a light gray type of thing. So if you do C, that that squiggly line, and then that C, it'll make a light gray thing. Obviously, if you do G, it'll make a dark gray. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, sorry. If you do G, it'll make a green. Anyway, so I'm gonna do LEO loadout equipped. Cool. And then we can quite literally just copy and paste this. If I can copy it, and then we'll go civilian loadout equipped, and then we'll go fire loadout equipped. And if you want, you can obviously change some colors here. I can make this blue, this green, this red, just like the name of whatever loadout it is. But I'm gonna leave it like that just because it's easier. Now, say for example, say that he didn't put a valid first argument in, or he just didn't put one in at all. So here we have this else for, because if the number 1 arg is equal to LEO, it'll do this. If it's equal to civ, it'll do that. If it's equal to fire, then it'll do that. But if say it's not one of these 3, say you just put something random in there, then we're gonna need an error message to say you need to put in like a valid loadout type in there. So I'm gonna go notify, and then we're gonna go in blue again, just so we keep it nice and neat. Weapons, and then I'm gonna go in red because it's an error message, and we'll say you did not enter a valid loadout type, and then we'll do valid type. We'll do something just to help them out a little bit. C, and then we'll light gray again, and we'll go types LEO civ fire. There we go. Now it's a nice little error message, and this wasn't a very complicated code, but yeah. So now we will have a look at doing components. So if I take this over, I needed that. So if we bring this over here, you can see give weapon component to paired. I will also link this, of course. But all this needs is the paired, the hash of the weapon, and then the component hash. Simples. So cool. Give me a second here. Alrighty. So I forgot to open this before, but I will also link this one down here as well for you. We have a little bit of a component list. So say we're gonna put some components on for my carbine rifle here. So we'll scroll down into where we see rifles, and we see carbine rifles here on this website. I'm gonna click on that, and then boom, we have our carbine rifle right here. So it gives us just the hash keys of all of the component names that we need. So, well, not the hash keys, but it gives us the things. So we're gonna make this a hash. It actually gives us the hash right here if we wanted to, but to keep it nice and neat, we'll just use the same way we've been using. So I want to put a flashlight on it, right? I'm gonna copy this. So I'm gonna Control C. Once I highlight that, actually, you know what? I'm gonna, yeah, that works. Okay, and then we're gonna use our give weapon component native. So I'm gonna put it under here. Actually, I'll put it right at the bottom just so it's neat. Give weapon component to paired, and then it's gonna be player, because that is our variable there. The weapon hash, we can copy and paste the carbine rifle one here. And then the component hash, we need to get the hash key for our component, which we found on that list, which will be this component underscore AT underscore AR underscore FLSH. So yeah, this will now equip a flashlight onto our carbine rifle. And because, I want also, and let's say I want a grip on it. I will also put a grip on it. I go back to this list here, I just find where it says grip, take that, Control C, and then replace that. It's very simple there. And now I want to put something on my, I want to put a scope on my combat pistol as well. Not a scope, sorry, a flashlight. So I'll go back to this website, we'll scroll all the way back up to the top. I'll just click combat pistol right there, boom, right at the top here, combat pistol. I want to go flashlight, so we'll go this, we'll just copy that there, and we'll replace it there, and we'll also grab this, just so it gives us to the right weapon. So all we've done is the exact same method everywhere else, except we've just changed somewhere else, something like the weapon hash and the component hash to the combat pistol one, and the respective component for the combat pistol. So yeah, now it'll work perfectly. So we'll hop into game. Let's check. Oh yeah, and we'll hop into game and test it out now. We also want to make sure that we edit our server CFG. You can either do this through FXManifest or you can do it for whatever. But I will do it right where I have my other tutorial, which should be... It's fine, I'll put it right under here. I'm going to start, and what did we call it? We called it, let me go back just so I can get it right. Go back to the folder we put it in. Weapon loadout. Cool. So I'm going to go start or ensure, whatever you want to do. Start weapon loadout. Easy peasy. And we'll go ahead and restart our server. Alright, now that we are in game, we can do our /wep loadout. And obviously if we don't put anything, it'll give us the error there. You did not enter a valid loadout types LEO, Civ, and fire. Perfect, just how we wanted it. There's a little bit of typo there, but we can fix that later. So now I'm going to do LEO. If you have a look here, boom, LEO loadout equipped. And if we go to my weapon wheel, it has everything. And look at that, I have a flashlight on this. Well, it's daytime, so you can't really see it. And I also have my carbine rifle with a flashlight on it as well. And it works flawlessly. So if I want to do, I'll do clear. This is I'm pretty sure built-in command. I don't know, I didn't make that. Just to get rid of all my weapons. And we'll do /wep. Go wep loadout. And we'll do civ this time. Boom, civilian loadout equipped. And look at that, I have a combat pistol with no attachments because we didn't put any on. And I also have a knife. So now I want to, just clear my weapons one more time. And I will go fire. Fire loadout equipped. Look at that. And now we have my battle axe. And because, yes, I'm sure all, our firefighter need a battle axe. And also, I mean, it's annoying that it doesn't show up on the weapon wheel, but I think that's just a fire extinguisher thing. We also have the fire extinguisher. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I do try to check them as much as possible. And I'm sorry this video took so long for me to get out. I don't have a good excuse, but I really am hoping that I can bring this more frequently, because I did see a few positive comments on my last video, and that really gave me some motivation to make this one. So I appreciate that. Again, if you have any questions, I will leave my Discord and my Discord server in the comments as well. Come in, ask any questions all day long. I'll be happy to help. But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will hopefully sometime very soon see you with a part 3 to this tutorial. And I'm being attacked by a goddamn mountain lion. Get over here, boy. Oh, I didn't win that fight.